I decided I need to make me a little pig, and I'm not sure if I'm going to leave it like a cutting board or paint it, but this is the pattern I'm going to use. I'm going to cut it out on my Cameo and draw it off on a piece of board, or trace it off on a piece of board and cut it out. But now I've got to send it over. Let's see, I got to hit send, and I want cardstock. Just got to find my cardstock. Heavy texture to make sure it cuts good. And then I'll go down here and hit send. Okay, what's this saying? Some of the cut lines in the design are overlapping the border of the red rectangle. So what is it talking about? Looks all, oh, I see, okay. No, I see right here, I'm off the mat. So I'm going to pull, oh, let me do something first. Undo. I had to make that circle in the tail, and now I am going to group them. Now I can move it without it moving. All right, I think that's okay. Now we'll go back up here to send. Go down here. I've got my mat loaded with my paper. And I'm going to start cutting that out and take it to the garage to cut it on wood. I couldn't make up my mind what I wanted to do, so I've got one traced off to paint and one to leave as a cutting board. And now I'm going to take my jigsaw and cut the two pieces off, and I think I'm going to cut it out with my scroll saw. Okay, I've had a request to show a little more of my cutting on the scroll saw, so I'll turn down the sound and probably speed it up and cut out this one so that you can see me cutting. Okay, there it is. And I'll probably use my drill press right here instead of moving this. Can you see my drill press right here already has the bit in it, so I'm just going to use that to cut that little hole out. That'll make it easy and fast for me. And the next one, I'm going to raise the garage door because it's hot in here and cut it out with the wind blowing in. Okay, I'm ready to do my pig. This one, I'll let that dry. I put this wood and bamboo conditioner and protectant on it, and I'll let that kind of soak in, and I'll give it another couple coats. You can see the difference in the color, and leave this one plain, because that'd be cute setting up as a cutting board up, you know, on the back of your counter. And this one is going to be more decorative. Well, I just threw my lid off, and I'm just going to put a coat of the Waverly. I've got down to the last of my Waverly, and I poured water in it and then poured it in here. So it's real watered down. And I'll give that a coat of this. And then you can see where I've made 2 stripes. This middle part's going to be white, and these will be black. That'll be almost all I'll do to it. I'm not going to, I don't think, I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably cover it and then sand it down real good. Give it a good coat of the white and black, and then sand it and distress it. Maybe put a rusty star on him or something like that. Gonna be kind of a primitive pig. Might have picked a different pattern for that, but that's okay. This'll work. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give this a coat, let it dry, and then start painting the white and the black. Yeah, I'm going to start the black coat. And I don't think I'm going to go around the edges. So I'm going to be a little careful. And if I mess up, then I will go around the edges. This will be really simple to do. Cut it out, sand it down, and then I put the Waverly dark wax on it. And that's probably all this is going to get. Or I'm not going to give it 2 coats. So I'm going to go on and do this, and then I'm going to do the white through here, and then take it out and distress it and see what it looks like. And I'll probably bring it back and put a clear wax on it, and then black wax it, because the Waverly, I don't want it a bright. I'm going to use the Waverly plaster in here, and I don't want it real bright. I have it all painted, and now I'm going to take it out to the garage and hit it with the sander and distress it some. While I'm out in the garage, I want a rusty star to go on somewhere on it. So while I'm out in the garage, this is a metal rusty star, but it just lays so flat, doesn't give it any dimension. So I put this down here and kind of traced around it, made this star a little bit bigger. I'm going to cut that out with my scroll saw, and then I'm going to try using some of the Dixie Bell Patina Paint and rust this, see how it looks. I can try, right? We'll see how it does. Okay, I have cut the star out and painted it black and put a coat of the Dixie Bell Patina iron on, and now it is dry, and I'm supposed to put another coat on. Now I'm going to put another coat on, go around the edges. Oh, I'm going to pounce this on. And then while it's wet, with the second coat, I'm supposed to spray the patina spray on. Okay, and then let it dry. Wait to see if I see anything. It's turning kind of a rusty color, or it's supposed to. I'm going to let that dry, and then I'll come back and show you how it turns out. Okay, I'm going to put some clear DIY wax on my pig. Well, get right in there. That should be enough to get it. I sanded it down good because I wanted it to look old. I didn't want it to look new. Okay, that should be good and covered. Kind of wipe my brush off some. And get my, this is Jolie Black. I always forget to open my can. Wipe this back some. All right, now I'm going to put some black on it. Wipe it back some because I want black left on it. And that looks pretty old. Okay, now let it dry a bit, and I'm going to start. I'm going to have to put a hanger on it. I think what I'm going to do is put a hole here and here and use some wire and then put the rusty star on it, and that should be good. I think it's turning out cute. Well, come on. Go all the way through, not on that one. I thought it went all the way on both of them, but it didn't. Maybe that was my... There it did. Did that time. Okay. All right, now I need my wire. And my wire cutters. And my needle nose. This is kind of rusty looking here, so I'll use it. Probably plenty. Come on. Had to get some strength on it, and it came back out. probably about like that. I'm going to cut a little bit of this off. And then take my needle nose. Okay. A little bit more. Push it down. Boy, that's baling wire. That's tough. That stuff is strong. Okay, now I'm waiting for my star to dry, and I'm going to see how I'm going to attach that, whether I'm just going to glue it or figure out another way to hang it on here. That's where I'm at so far. As soon as my star's finished drying, I'll finish this up. All right, my star dried, and that's how it looks. That was just that piece of wood. And I'm thinking, instead of just gluing it on, drilling a hole about right there and in the middle, and doing a twirl on my wire, and then feeding it up through there and putting a twirl there to where it kind of stands up a little bit. So, to start with, I want the hole for that about right there. And I'm not going all the way through. I'm just going to make it to where I think my wire will go down in it. Where's the end of my wire? Yeah, that's down in there good. Now, I'm going to put a hole in the middle of my star. Set that aside. Take me some wire. All right, I need something to twirl this around. I'll take this. Just a stick, dowel rod. I'm gonna twirl it around that. I should have left that part there straight. Okay, let me see. Here's my needle nose. I need my glasses. I don't know where I put my glasses. Now I gotta get my glasses. That's not them. Must have left them in the other room. Okay, let's see. That work? Yep, like that. Bend this here up. Except I want it to be more like that. I'm going to bend that one up. Put that through there. Let's see. I'm going to smash it down some, yeah. I'm going to cut that. Well, I'm going to leave it for right now. About right there. Well, I have to leave that on, don't I? Okay. I'm gonna have to let me see. It's not working because I can't get twirled around that star. I'll figure it out. Well, okay. There, turn it sideways to get it. A little bit more off. Okay. Is that gonna work? Smash it down some. Okay, I like that. Now what I'll do, it'll have to dry, and I'll put some of this super glue adhesive I get from the Dollar Tree. Get that hole right there. Set that aside and let it dry. I think that's cute. And hopefully it'll stay in. I'm gonna put some more glue on it. I had plenty, but just to make sure. There. Now, I'll let that dry. And it's finished. I think that turned out really cute. All right, leave it alone. Squish it down some. Now I'm just going to set it aside and let it dry. It's finished. All right, today I got this out of my stash and I paid $1 for it at the thrift store a while back. And it has the lid and it has this. I took this off and eek, I'm not going to seal it with anything. So I did put a little bit of this Dover's chalk paint. I got this off a, not chalk paint, but chalk paint mix. I got this quite a while ago off of Amazon. And I know chalk paint sticks a lot better. And I'm not sealing this. I'm not spraying it and sealing it with anything. So I did add a little bit of this mixture to this country tan. But before I start, I'm going to take it and I'm going to clean it all up with my alcohol and get it good and clean, and then I'll put a coat of this country tan. And what I'm going to do is I'm using this for the coffee pods on my coffee bar. But I'm going to keep it all, you know, the lid, and I'm going to put this back on when I'm done, because if I want to use it for something else, I have a tendency to lose this stuff if I don't keep it right with it. All right, I'm going to clean it up and start painting it the country tan. All right, I gave it 3 coats, or actually more like 2.5. I gave it a full 2 coats and then kind of touched up in other areas. And I made this stencil. I found a crow online and made a stencil, and I've put the Aleene's tack it over and over. Probably wouldn't have done it if it had been flat because I've used it for one thing. But with it on a curve, I wanted it to kind of be able to stick somewhat. Because I'm going to have to just work it in sections, I believe. Okay. Let me go ahead and try to tack it down, at least to there. See how that does. I cut it out with my silhouette, my cameo silhouette, using stencil material. And I can use it over and over and over. And I'm just using black paint. Okay, right in here. Holding my breath. Cat, don't you do it, Kit Kat. She just woke up. When she just wakes up, she starts on me. Oh, I got that a little thick. kind of seeped under some. Well, hold it down good. Okay, I'm going to call that good. Kit Kat. No. The legs are a little skinny. So I'm going to put that back down on there. Push a little harder. See if I can get them a little wider. That's good. Pulled off a little paint right there. Okay. I'll touch up right there and right there. And that's good. And I'm going to leave, I think I'm just going to leave the lid the way it is because it's going to be setting off to the side, or I'll put it up, but I've got it with it. Yeah. And I'm going to let that dry well, and I'm going to seal it. And I'll do a little something else with it, but I'm going to let this all dry up and seal it before I start messing with it anymore. All right, I did put a coat of the DIY clear wax on there to seal it. And now, I don't know which brush to use. Wonder if I can go like that. Yeah. I'm going to put some black around the edges. I don't want it to glob on there, so I kind of wipe it off on my paper towel. I'm just going to see how this looks. That could stay on a little darker, actually. See how that looks. Feather it out. A little bit. Yeah, I like the way that looks. Now, around the top, the edge here, I'm trying to figure out what to do. I think I'll just go up around here. Too far down in there. Put it on and then I'll wipe it back. I don't know if I'm going to wipe that back at all. I don't like the way that looks. Yeah, I like that. Give it a little depth. It's just a 50-cent, or was it I can't remember if it's 50 cents or $1 I paid for this little crock at the thrift store. I think it's turning out really cute. But I'm going to do something else with it too. Maybe put some black and white, material, you know, the homespun material. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, I'm going to let that dry a little bit. I'm going to leave it alone, get my hands off from it before I get into the black and smear it down where I don't want it. I like the way that's looking. Well, I thought I'd show you where I'm at and what I'm trying to do, or what I'm just putting on. I'm just doing what I normally do. I'm trying to figure out if I need some pip berries. I don't know. I think that's kind of cute. I don't know. And then I had another bow here. Some cheesecloth that I tea dyed or coffee dyed. I don't know if I even want the berries on it. If it even needs it. I don't think they really need to be on there. I think like that, with maybe, and I dropped I'm always dropping stuff. Hell, come here. I can't get it up off the floor. Anyways, let's see, let's pull this down. And then maybe, I don't know if I want this big of a star or not. I think I need a smaller star. Yeah, I'm going to mess around with it a little more and see what I come up with. Okay, I ended up putting the rusty star. I put a real fine piece of twine on the rusty star and attached it with hot glue on his beak and on the jug or the crock. And I really like how this turned out. It looks really, really cute on my coffee bar. I put just a few pip berries, not as many as I had. The only thing I can see when I walk past it, I really like it. I need to bring it up on a pedestal or a riser of some, because I just can't see it well enough, and it's really cute. All right, guys, that's how this one turned out. Now, on to the next project. Now, I'm going to be making this little thing over. I got it at the thrift store, as you can see, for 50 cents. And I'm going to cut off this homespun fabric that was on it. And as you can see, this thing's 25 years old. And it says Primitives by Kathy. Yeah, Primitives by Kathy. And on the bottom of it, it has a name, Chelsea Sherman, 12/25/98. So that makes it a good 25 years old. And I found it at the thrift store, and I'm going to make it over. I don't mind the burgundy, but it's just kind of faded out to me. I'm just going to go ahead and paint it black. And what I have in mind, I'm not crazy about the hand on the front. So what I have in mind is to take this. I got this off of Amazon. I have several of them I bought. They're not like cheap or anything, but they're cute. I'm going to feed this back. Well, anyways, I'm going to feed the cord out the back of this. And I felt like it needed to be lifted up a little bit, so I went and got a little piece of wood that will fit down in there and just lift it up just where the light bulb shows a little better. It's a silicone bulb in that. And I'm going to paint it black and then figure out something else to put on the front. But for right now, I'm going to start with painting it black. And I'm just using the Anita's All-Purpose Acrylic Black from, I got that at Hobby Lobby. I need to buy bigger bottles because that one's almost empty, and I go through a lot of black. And if I want it turned into chalk paint, I do have some, well, I do have Waverly ink. It's about gone too, but I have some powder that I add to it. I got it off of Amazon. It's by Dover, and you mix so much to your paint, to your acrylic paint, and make it a chalk paint. But anyways, I'm going to continue on and paint this black, let it dry. Probably after I paint it black, I'll distress it just a little bit, like it already has been distressed. I'll distress it some. And then I'm going to put something on the front here. And if I was going to resell this, I probably couldn't do that because it wouldn't look right, you know. I couldn't get enough out of it to pay for the bulb anyway. But I'm going to keep this for myself. I'll probably put it in the corner of my kitchen. I think. I don't know. But I'm going to figure out something for the front and put something else on it. Of course, this will be the front now, not that. I finished painting it black, and I sanded it back just a little bit. And then I took the rag that I had that still had some clear wax on it and rubbed it over that real good and sealed it. It had plenty still on the rag. So I have picked this out off of Amazon, or not Amazon, Etsy. And I can leave the link below. Now this one, they had some cheaper ones, but this image here I could print up to an 8x10, and I gave you two different files, an 8x10 and then one that was like a lot bigger. So it would print out if I want to use it for a picture and frame it. So I went ahead and paid a little more for it, and the colors were better on it and stuff. But I'm going to put that on there with some Mod Podge. And I did print this out on rice paper. I just sized it. I took it into my Silhouette software and sized it and printed it out. Okay. Made it over just a bit. All right, that looks good. That should be on there well. Get me another little towel here. I think that's cute. It says she seeks wool and flax and works willingly with her hands. Proverbs 31:13. Now, what I'll do is I'll let that dry and put this down in there and work this bulb in there, and then I'll start. It won't take a lot. I'm going to decorate it just a bit, not over the top or anything. Just put a little something in it around the bulb. And I have gnats. Anybody else have gnats this year? There's not a thing in this room. I don't throw any kind of, if I happen to be eating a banana or something in here or anything at all, I take it to the trash. And I don't put it in the one in here. And they are just everywhere. Okay, I'm going to let that dry and I'm going to put that in there and I'll be back and we'll work on the rest of it. Well, here's what I have so far. I put some seltzer down in there. It wasn't the real Spanish moss. It's man-made. Anyways, I put that down in there, and then I have this bush that I bought from the thrift store. I think it was last week. Took a little stem of it off, and I've been sticking it down in there. I think it kind of goes good with this. Now, I was trying to figure out whether I wanted to put some of these in that. I have one there, and I did have some of this. It's the same thing. It's just a little different hue and color. I didn't care for it. I pulled those out, and then I saw I had this one had a little more green in it. And I think I'm going to cut a few more of those off and put in there. But I think it's turning out pretty cute. Well, here it is finished, and I wanted to show it to you with the light on. But I'm going to stop the video and turn it off so you can see it a little better and what I've done to it. There, now you can see it a little better. Video and lights don't go together. But I decided to take the little flowers out and I just put a few white pip berries in it and leaving it simple. And I like the way it turned out. It's cute, and it's cute setting in this arrangement. And I like it at night with a little light on. Alright guys, that's all I have for today. So until the next one, we'll see you later.